record here just in case it works. And we'll record here just in case it works. We'll go back to the chat.
Everybody knows this.
Just in case somebody shows up. Ooh, we've been gone for a while. Oh my goodness, we were gone for a couple weeks. Okay, so we did a flip through in the book last time.
Yes.
Excuse me, I am the camera hog. You are the background noise.
No.
Wait, love you. Can you do this? Do it to them. So,
No!
they can't see you. Why can't they see you? Are we on this? We're not on the right camera. Let's go to...
Camera 3.
What camera is that?
3.
This camera. There she is. Okay, so a couple of weeks ago we did a flip through the book because we finished the book, and then my house caught fire, and so I was gone. We started off we had to miss a week because we had a performance, and I broadcast my boy's performance, and then my daughter had a performance, so I broadcast my daughter's performance, and then my house caught fire. So I mean, I've missed a few weeks. So here we are. Hey, maybe my mom will call. She's in the chat room. Hi, Mom. Mom's in the chat room. Maybe she'll call. She can join in with us. But I thought, since the house was on fire last week, I thought that I would paint some fire tonight, and while I walk you through the way my week unfolded. So, with that, let's just turn the page and get started.
I had to help you with that word.
We didn't do the intro. We didn't do the take your headphones off. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Artistic Biker Live. We didn't do that part. We didn't do the hello peoples. Welcome to this week's episode of the Artistic Biker Live. Then we just jumped right in and said,
why didn't we do what's
because we don't have a book. Normally we have a book to do all that with. We're gonna make a new book. Probably next week. We're gonna make a small book out of file folders. So if you're watching this week, next week we're going to make a small book out of file folders, and we do this live on Ustream. The easiest way to find it is go to theartisticbiker.com/Ustream. That's the letter U, stream. And so what we'll do is we'll make a small book out of file folders next week just to get us through until September. My friend Pamela French has got a whole bunch of grocery sacks she's going to mail us. If I can ever remember to send her my physical address, she's going to send us some grocery sacks, and when she does, we'll have what we need to make the new full book in September. But we just seriously just trying to distract people with shiny lights. Stop. So anyway, got boy 2 and Unique with Chantiel LaFontaine out here painting with us tonight. So tonight I'm going to paint fire. I'm going to talk about the house fire. Please don't shine the light at the camera. I'm going to talk about what was going on with the house last week while I paint some fire. So if you have any questions in the chat room, please feel free to ask. If my mom decides to call me, she can call me and she can tell me what's going on in the chat room, and then yeah, that's what we'll do. So with that, let's turn the page and let's get started. Look, with the cameras, I can show you what's on mine. I don't have enough light. Sure I do. Okay, so I can show you what's on mine. I can show you what's on hers, and I can show you what's on his. Wait, she's not painting in the right spot. Where is she? Move your painting to there. Get under the camera so we can see what you're painting. There we go. Okay. That way we can flip through and we can see what everybody's painting. So yeah, it's been a, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and gesso. This is acrylic paper that I'm using, but the acrylic paper works really well. It's cheap to paint on. It's what he's painting on. It's inexpensive. Cheap is not the right word. It's inexpensive to paint on. Hi, Linda Ray. Can you see me? It's inexpensive to paint on. cheap is not the right word. But it you kind of get what you pay for. It's just a little fun surface to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and dress it out like I do my wall calendars, where I put 4 coats of primer on the back and 4 coats of primer on the front. I'm probably not going to put 4 coats, but I am going to primer both front and back, because that stops it absorbing all my paint and helps my paint maintain some bright colors. I put this file folder down here so I wouldn't get paint on the table, boy, and it didn't matter, I still slid off. So I'm just gonna put 1 coat on each side, because this is not archival, or I don't intend for this to be archival. I just don't want it to absorb my paint. So let me dry that. How you been, Linda Ray? I haven't seen you in a while. You know, on that camera you can see what both of them are doing. Tell them what happened to our house.
It's time to draw the fire.
Oops, there's my mom. Shall I?
I've been trying for 10 minutes to get on Ustream, and I can't get to your show.
You can't get to my show.
No, I'm on Facebook. I click the link, and it takes me to back several weeks. I mean, it's a recording. It's not current. I don't know how to get you current.
Well, you show up in the chat room.
Right now?
Yeah.
Well, I can't. I mean, I don't have you. I hear no music. I see nothing. It's a previously recorded show. It's Quinn's drawing.
Refresh the page. Are you at the home page, the Artistic Biker, the Ustream TV channel, the Artistic Biker page?
I clicked on the link you sent me.
Well,
it's on Facebook.
That must be a horrible link then. Let's try it again. Hang on.
Okay.
I don't know that this will send to Facebook. So I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to share it. Nope, doesn't go to Facebook. It'll only go to Twitter. So...
Okay, tell me what to type in.
Hang on. I got you. I'm going to go right here to Facebook. Then I'm going to go right here. Control V.
It's at the fire.
And post. And that's on Facebook. And then I'm going to go to Artistic Biker. I'm going to do it again. I hate it when technology doesn't work. It's supposed to just work. Right?
Yeah.
It's alright. We'll be alright.
Nope. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't have a link, so...
It's on Facebook.
No, sorry. I wish it was. I have, it says, let's paint fire tonight, live now at, and it's got the Artistic Biker, and there's nothing, and if I click on the Artistic Biker, it takes me to the same thing I was in before.
I need something.
Okay, well there's a new one. Try the new one.
I need something.
What do you need, sweetie? She said,
I know.
Linda Ray said she had to go to the website and click on the link.
TheArtisticBiker.com.
Yep, you go to artisticbiker.com/Ustream. That's the letter U, stream.
Is it TheArtisticBiker.com?
Actually, I think it works both ways because I pay for both domains. It's supposed to just be Artistic Biker, but I went ahead and got both domains so that people could type in whatever they wanted. Linda had a rough spring with pneumonia. That's horrible. I hate to hear that, Linda. Hi, Carrie. Carrera Beezy. Do we call you Carrie or do we call you Carrera Beezy? I kind of like Carrera Beezy. Okay. So yeah, last week, after the 2 weeks ago was my son's musical debut. I think that was 2 weeks ago. I don't know. And then, a week ago, or no, that was 3 weeks ago. And then a week ago was my daughter's final performance at school. And so we didn't have a show. And then
our house caught on fire.
And then our house caught on fire. Which is kind of why we chose this as a subject tonight. This is charcoal. I made this charcoal. I'm very proud of this charcoal. It works very well. So our house caught fire. And let me tell you, it was 5:30 in the morning when we got a phone call. It might have been earlier than that. It was, but it was 5:30 when we got the phone call that from the neighbor that said, you know, your house is on fire. And it was the house in Oklahoma, not the house in Houston. And my parents have been remodeling that house. We've been going up there and we have been staying at that house, remodeling that house, and working on that house. And we put a lot of time and effort into that house. It's the house that my baby boy, when my baby boy was born, we came home to that house.
When your daughter was born.
And there was a blizzard. When we brought him home, there was a blizzard. And we ended up with no electricity, sitting on the couch using the gas heat and charging our laptops in the car so that we could watch the entire first 3 movies of Star Wars. And when I say the first 3 movies, I mean the only first 3 movies that matter. I don't mean the Jar Jar Binks nonsense, because that doesn't count. Those movies didn't happen. We watched A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, and we just had a great time. 3 days in that, 3 days alone as a family in that little room. And my daughter, when my daughter was born, we brought her home to that house. You know, it was pretty emotional. We had a lot of memories in that house. That was that. Are you done? Mm-hmm. That was the house that we brought everybody home to, and it's burn up. They called us at 5:30 Saturday morning or Sunday morning and said your house is on fire. And I drove to Oklahoma, and then I spent last week in Oklahoma trying to figure out how to deal with a house that's on fire. And so I have done nothing for preparation. I've done nothing for making a new book or anything else. So I thought tonight, you know what? Fire is a pretty good theme. Let's run with fire.
Already done.
Are you done?
With fire.
With fire. No, that's desire, not with fire. Desire. Okay, I'm going to start with the match. So yeah. Yep, Mom, did you finally get in?
No, I can't. I'm super frustrated.
Oh no.
I can't get into your page. I can't get into Facebook. I can't get in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I cannot find you. I mean, I have the page, but it's all the old stuff.
Okay, so it's Ustream.tv.
Okay.
/channel
/ hyphen artistic hyphen biker.
The hyphen artistic hyphen biker. Yeah.
And when I see that,
on a paint.
What happens?
nothing. I have a blank screen. I have, this is the one I have. Let's see what's happening here. Well, of course I get an ad.
So you're in.
Now hold on. Let me show you where it is. Okay, I have you now. Thank you very much.
And already done.
Oh, the chat's not scrolling either. There we go. Carrie wants to be called Carrie. She doesn't want to be called Carrera Beezy. I think Carrera Beezy. Hey, there's Jack too.
Yeah. What do I show up? What's my name?
What's your name, Biker's Mom?
Okay, good.
Do what? So, when I paint fire, and I don't do it very often, I'll show you. This is what we're going off of. This is this one back here. The guy in the chat room, Last of the Breed. This is his. I just have never sent it to him. I painted it, and I've given it to him. I just never sent it to him. So that's kind of what we're doing, except this time we're doing a match instead of a candle. Back to here. So when you paint fire, though, you got to do it in glazes. You can't do it in solid, heavy colors. I mean, you can, but it doesn't. I don't think it works as well. So but you do it in glazes, and you make your glaze heaviest, closest to the fire, and then it fades out the further away from the fire you get, right? So you do a glaze of red, and it's going to take a while. We're going to have to dry it in between each glaze. We're going to have to dry it a little. Otherwise, if we don't, then it'll all just mix up, and we don't want it to mix. We want it to layer. Mom, I can't hear you. The air conditioner's going. Oh, I like that plan, Jack. Just come get it. That's a good plan. So now when you glaze the other way, we're going to glaze black, but we're going to start the black at the outside of the page and work our way in.
You could not even hear the dryer.
The hair dryer?
Yeah. You didn't even have to say, "I'll be right back."
I don't think I did say it.
I know.
I heard you say it.
That's Quinn, man.
Yep.
I said, hey.
That's boy too.
Yay.
Third grader.
He is. He's a third grader.
Second still.
Nope.
Tomorrow's the last day of
Oh, that's right. Tomorrow's the last day of school. He's a second grader still. How many glazes do you think this will take?
Probably 5.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to see.
I say 60. Like a minute.
Are you done? Are you done painting?
Yes. And someone's painting leaves. I am.
So here's what he's doing over there. What'd you paint? What is that?
A house that's on fire.
A house that's on fire. Outstanding. Let me dry this real quick. Jack says, all the glazes.
Hold on, which way is this supposed to be? This way or this way?
I don't know, you painted it, brother.
This upside down?
So yeah, you get the call, 5:30 in the morning. Your house is on fire, and it's my Oklahoma house. It's not my Texas house. I don't know how much better that makes it, but it was my Oklahoma house, not my Texas house. So I came downstairs that night. That morning, because you know it was morning then. I came downstairs that morning, and both my youngest kids were asleep on the couches. They had come downstairs that night, the night before, and they were watching movies. The wife and I had gone on a date. We went out to see Deadpool, and so while the wife and I were out on a date, the youngest two had stayed up late watching movies and falling asleep on the couch, and they are well beyond the age where I can just throw them, pick them up and carefully carry them upstairs. I got a glare right there. They're well beyond the age where I can just pick them up and carry them upstairs. So we left them on the couch. But we got that call, and you know the first thing you think is, oh my God, where are my babies? And they were still on the couch. Before I dry this glaze, I'm going to stop and I'm going to show you that picture. Let me show you this picture real quick. And I say real quick like I can just pull it right up, like it's going to be magically just right there. Gallery, back from portfolio to house fire. Let's see, was I smart enough to move those pictures to house fire? No. Okay, so camera. How far back do I have to scroll? It's important that you see this picture though, because it's great. It's a great shot. And my poor wife, every time she gets upset about the house burning down, I break out this picture and I show it to her. Because what you should be able to see are, there's a kid on each couch. Now what I really want you to look at though, there's a love seat to the left, which is a 2-seater, which has the super long, almost 13-year-old monster on it. And then you have like the 8-foot-long 3-seater couch on the other side, straight ahead, that's got like the 3-foot-tall monster curled up at one end. Now, He's got all the room in the world, and she's hanging off both edges of the couch. But this is what I came downstairs. By the time this happened, this is after. By the time I was smart enough to take a picture, it was after 6. So the sun's coming up. But look at that. My baby's sleeping on their couch, on the couches. So that's what I came downstairs to. And that's the picture that I bring up to show my wife every time she starts to get upset about the house in Oklahoma. Alright, did I do the glaze of black, or did I that was just the glaze, that was the second glaze of red. So now I need another glaze of black.
And I'm almost done with my leaf.
Alright. The glazes are what really makes this work. I don't usually teach on this show. This is not usually a teaching show, but I'm doing a preemptive strike against the questions. The cool thing is the glazing gives you the impression that the light is going out from the candle. Man, that glare is just in the right place. So my dad. My mom and dad both work for the county. My mom's telling this in the chat room at the same time. We're doing this show live. If you're not aware, we do this every Thursday night on. For those of you watching on the YouTube later, we do this every Thursday night from, I don't know, 6:30 to whenever we're done. There's 3 Diva Dave.
Oh my word!
I know, right? It's 3 Diva Dave sighting, and so. They work for the county. So my dad was a firefighter in Farwell, Oklahoma, which, if you're not familiar where Farwell is, it's right next to Agawam. So that'll help you orient yourself to where that might be. And so he was a firefighter. So he still has, for working with the county and working with work as a former firefighter, he still has all his pager gear. And so he got the page that my house was on fire in the middle of the night. He wakes my mom up, Trish, John's house is on fire.
Oh, Patricia.
Yeah, which is worse. you know things have gone down when he uses all 3 syllables. We're having some trouble with some volume tonight, Mom. So I'm having some trouble hearing you tonight. Hang on, it's not your fault. It's because there's a hairdryer. You can if you want to, Pamela French. Pamela French is in the chat room asking if we're painting along. You are absolutely welcome to paint along if you want to.
That's what we were supposed to do.
I know. We're going to do faces. I was telling people next week we're going to do a file folder journal, a small file folder journal. And if I can ever remember to send Pamela French my physical mailing address, she says she has a whole bunch of grocery sacks that she can send me. And then that way we can we'll have grocery sacks for the to make the book in September. I'm trying to collect grocery sacks, but the only place here that I really get grocery sacks from is the liquor store. And trust me, it doesn't bother me a lick to go to the liquor store and get more sacks. But that's pricey. We finished the art journal a couple of weeks ago, 3 Dot, but we've been struggling to get back on the air because of the house fire. I was telling everybody earlier, we had, you know, my son had a musical performance, and then my daughter had a musical performance, and I was all prepared to have a show last week, and then we had a house fire. So I spent last week in Oklahoma dealing with the house fire, and I took everything to Oklahoma so that I could broadcast from there, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. The house fire kind of messed me up. It's really kind of an emotional thing. I mean, it's funny because our valuables were gone from there. My family was gone from there. Nobody was hurt. So it really shouldn't have been that emotional of a thing, but it's just
given the three times we tried the remodel story.
Yeah, and that's, to me, that's hilarious because I tell you what, let me get this glaze dried, and I'll start on that story on the other side of the hair drying. The downside of painting fire like this for me is that you have so many layers to paint. The glazes, you have to do it in glazes or you don't get the glow into the background. I saw you had a graduation, 3 Dot. She was beautiful in that picture too. Is that 1 down, 2 to go? Or 1 down, 1 to go? Look over here. Look over here. Unique with Chantiel LaFontaine. Can you do that, baby? Tell Granny you love her. Woo!
I know what happened to Mom. That's what I did.
3 Dot says it's 1 down, 2 to go. All right.
My eyes were so annoying. And
I can't stress enough how important it is to do these glazes. It seemed silly the first time I did it. I was like, oh my goodness, why would you do the glazes like that? That's just silly. But when you do it without the glazes, it comes off really flat.
And you survived it. And you were dead.
Yeah? Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow. You know what?
Yay!
What are you yaying? No, Unique was not a baby anymore. Hers. How many fingers are you? Hang on. Let's put you back on camera so they can see. How many fingers are you? No. Are you this many? You're only this many.
No.
Yeah, you're 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No, you're not 5. You're only 4.
But that's how many my fingers are.
I know you have 5 fingers.
That's what you asked her.
That's like when they tell her. That's like when they tell her she's got her shoes on the wrong feet, but these are the only feet I have. more water. Are you arguing with me? I'm sorry, Mom, what?
I have some lag now.
I'm sorry. Let's see. What do we need now?
I don't know what happened.
We need yellow.
I have little right here.
So, okay. So, how long ago? 6 years ago? About 6 years ago, we decided we were going to remodel that house. We were talking about changes we wanted to make to that house. And while we were talking about it, I mean, it's not even hours later. It's while we were talking about it. I was in the bathtub upstairs. Wife's leaning against the door frame, drinking a cup of coffee. And we're talking about how we're going to remodel the house. And while we were doing that, an earthquake strikes. An earthquake in Oklahoma. In Chickasha, Oklahoma, we had an earthquake. And that earthquake messed up the plumbing upstairs. And the messed up plumbing messed up the bathtub, so that anytime you tried to drain the bathtub, it would leak into the downstairs bathroom over the toilet. So basically all I could do is plug that up. There wasn't a whole lot I could do with that. All I could do is just plug that up. So I did. And then we survived for a few months. And then there was discussion about remodeling again. Probably a year later. We probably waited a year. And then there was discussion about remodeling again. And the roof collapsed. So, and the roof collapsed. And then we get the roof repaired. I borrow from my 401k to get the roof repaired.
Hey, I can't see me.
That's because the camera's not on you. I borrow from my 401k to get the roof repaired. And we get the roof repaired. And then I get this job in Houston. And it's a great job. You know, it was kind of temporary, but not really temporary. I mean, it could have been permanent, but there was always the chance that I was going to go back to my place of employment there in Oklahoma. We just, we didn't know. And there was always, maybe we should keep the house just in case we have to go back to Oklahoma. Maybe we should keep the house so that when we go back to visit in Oklahoma, maybe we should keep the house for my parents to live in. And then finally, that's kind of where we were. I'd been down here a year or so, and that's where we were. My parents had decided they were going to move into that house. And the pipes underground in the backyard froze and burst. Not the pipes exposed under the house. The pipes underground in the backyard froze and burst. And we had to turn the water off. you can't. There's not really anything you can do about that. We had to turn the water off until we could figure out where exactly the pipe had frozen and burst. So we get that worked out. We don't actually get it solved, but we get it worked out. I mean, we never dug it out or anything, but we had come up with a plan to redo all the plumbing. Then the plumbing under the house bursts. So after we come up with a plan to redo all the plumbing, then the plumbing under the house bursts. So now we just have to turn the water off. Then my dad gets hurt, and we stop messing with all that planning for a while my dad recoups. And my mom and dad, my dad's been recouping for a while. He had surgery in January. He's finally back to feeling good enough to try this again. Saturday, they call a contractor. They meet a brand new contractor. They come up with a brand new plan on how they're going to deal with the house. Brand new contractor, brand new plan, how they're going to deal with the house. Saturday, Sunday morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, lightning strikes. Burns the house down. I mean, to the ground. There's just sticks. Everything that wasn't burnt. Of course, really, truth be told, the firefighters kind of did me a disservice. If they'd let it burn just a little bit longer, I wouldn't have to pay for demolition. But they went ahead and put it out because, you know, they're trying to protect the neighbors. But and they did a great job. You know, kudos to them. Thank you so much, fire department, for not letting it burn to the ground. But the house burnt all the way up. I mean, all the way up. I put way too much black paint on there. I need to get some of it back off, or you're not going to see any of my layers. I may actually end up having to do one more layer of red because I think that's been lost. Anyway, now I want you to think about this. I've been telling the story for what, 10, 20 minutes now. I want you to think about this. An earthquake to stop us remodeling. A roof collapse to stop us remodeling. The backyard pipes underground freezing and bursting to stop my folks from moving in there. The pipes under the house freezing and bursting to stop my folks from moving in there. And then when they finally get it all worked out and they finally decide what they're going to do, work out a plan and everything, lightning strikes the house and burn it down. Now, what I'm taking away from this is the powers that be, Great Dolphin, whatever you believe in, 4 times tried to warn us to get out of the house. They don't want us living there. Finally said, I don't want you living there, and took the house away completely, right? So, I mean, when the voices say, get out, too bad we can't stay. Okay, before I do the white, I am going to do one more glaze of red. How much time do we? Oh, it's only 7:30. We're okay. We're doing great.
I'm calling my ball.
Yeah. See, 3 Dot's talking about putting a tent on the property. He said, "You sure you could put a tent on the property?" So here's what my dad comes back with: we can demolish that house, and we can.
What was the old house?
Okay, we can demolish that house, and then we can go back in and we can build a single layer, a single level house instead of a 2-story. We put a 1-story house on there, and it'd be perfect for everybody, right? You know, he keeps talking that way, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if the ground wouldn't just swallow the whole neighborhood up. He's got to be careful. That just wouldn't surprise me at all. Whole neighborhood. I'm going to add some more red right in here. And I'm going to add some more red right in here. Like that. And then, yeah, that's good. I'm going to leave it like that. And then I'm going to dry this layer, and then we'll come in with some black, and then we'll hit the white, and they're pretty much done. Now black is a boring color and it dulls things. So we're going to make a little indigo. It's going to be a dark indigo, but it's still going to be indigo. And that's what we're going to do. Everything else, all the rest of the black is going to be indigo. It might be a little hard to tell that it's indigo, but what it won't be is flat black. Now, for that part, I just need a little bit of glaze right through there. Just a little bit of glaze, right? Just a little bit of glaze, right? Just a little bit of glaze right through there. And then we'll glaze the rest of this on. All the glazes. Now, I think that's about got it. Somehow there's paint all over the wall over there. I wonder if I can show you that. Probably not. That's not going to do it. Somehow there's paint all over the wall over there. All over there. I don't know how that happens. Let me dry this real quick. Oh yeah, 3.DVD is talking about moving us all to Ohio. I can't move there. Water freezes there. Solid water's an abomination. That's close enough for government work. Solid water is an abomination. Okay, this is a little too exact for me, so I'm going to scruff that up just a touch, just a scotch. Just a scotch. I don't know how there's paint everywhere.
It's called use spray.
Alright.
Well, let's stop.
Now from there, This is the tricky part. Because if you do too much of this,
What did you paint it?
you'll ruin it. But if you don't do enough at all,
Unique, why did you paint it? Because why? Because I wanted to make a perfect ball. Well, it's already a perfect ball. Yeesh, a perfect puffer fish. I painted. Is that one where you can drink? Are you done painting?
just about.
She sure is talkative.
She is. She really is.
You can lift her up to do people.
Do what?
You can lift her up to do hello people.
I could. Alright, let's see here. Now we need this to come right down through there like that. Right down through there like that. Right down through there like that. Look at that. Alright, now comes the spatters part, just because I like the spatters part. You don't have to do the spatters part, I just like the spatters. I don't know how paint gets everywhere. Somehow, anytime I paint in my studio, paint just gets everywhere. It's crazy. I'm going to take this yellow and I'm really going to wet it down.
Lello.
Lello.
No. Lello.
Hello apple.
Lello apple.
Mate.
I think.
Is it just you three tonight?
Oh yeah, the teenager can't be bothered. She's too mature for her old man.
Oh, I gotcha. You entered that stage.
Not really. She won't. If I said something like that to her, she would be so upset. But at the same time,
I did not hear that word.
at the same time, she's not volunteering to be out here. There. Well, I like that. Let me dry that. I can't hear you. were going to critique this, I would say the flame is not big enough for the match. It needs to be, the match should have been smaller and the flame should have been a whole lot bigger. But like I said, it will do for what our intent was tonight, was just to paint some fire and play a little bit. It does exactly what I wanted it to do. It let me paint some fire and talk to you guys about my house fire. Yay! You know what? Let's do Where's my tiny brushes? Who's run off? Have you taken off my tiny brushes? I'm watching you.
I just got one tiny brush.
You just have the one tiny brush?
Yeah.
That was my favorite tiny brush.
And he got the second tiny brush.
He did.
Yeah, that's his.
I like how you just sold him down the river. She did too. She just said, wasn't me. It was all him. He did it. Alright. That's going to have to do it. I'm going to call that a candle or a matchstick. Tiny bubble in my beer. Wait, that's not right. One of the bad things about using student grade materials is they fade when they dry. They take on a flat appearance. It's kind of hard to tell on camera, but they fade when they dry. So the last step here, everybody put on your masks. Cover up all your electronics. Put your mask on. Take some salt, spray paint. Woo! Woo! I probably should open the garage door. Hang on. So now you get all the vibrancy of wet paint, and you end up with just a little fire. About a little fire, Scarecrow. So let's let that dry for a little bit. I don't have any easels to go over tonight because I can't really show you my nudies that I've been working on because Ustream doesn't allow that. But what I can do is show you the house. So if all you're interested in is the painting, we're done with that. At this point is all. From here on out, it's just pictures of my house. So here is the tree in the backyard. This is the silhouetted side. You can barely make out the scarring from the lightning, but you can see the trenching. And then this is the morning side, and you can see the lightning has come around the tree in a spiral and trenched on that side as well. It blew out, you can't really make it out in this picture, but it blew the windows to the garage from the inside out. All the glass is laying on the outside of the building all the way around. And then, let's see, this is the house. And this area right here is where girl 1, it was girl 1's bedroom first, and then when she moved out, girl 2 moved into it. So you can see where my daughter slept is where the lightning struck and where the fire started and burnt the whole house down. This is where the artistic biker started. This is the back porch. Looking from the kitchen to the back porch. That spot right there are the windows and everything that we were right in front of when we started the artistic biker. This is the same area from the outside looking in through the window. That's where me and girl 2 stood to, where me and girl 2 stood to paint every week. Here's the front door looking in, up the stairs. Here is from my bedroom door. I'm in my bedroom door upstairs, looking across the stairwell to the playroom at the far end of the house. And you can see there's still some ceiling left, but the roof is gone. Hi, Boudreaux. This was my son's room. You can see it's full of soot and ash. This was my wife's cradle when she was born. Her dad made that cradle. We couldn't rescue it. It was in our bedroom, and there's our bedroom, where the roof is collapsed and the floor is unstable. And that's the bedroom looking over. You can see the cradle over there on the right, just barely. And then this is my daughter's room from the inside. From standing in the hallway looking through the door, you can just barely see the mattress underneath all that rubble. That rubble would have fallen right on her. That rubble fell right on her bed. This is where the air conditioner was, but you look through the air conditioner into the closet of her bedroom and then out through the eaves where there's no more roof. So I'm not going to go through all the pictures, but this was the playroom, looking out through the playroom window to the office that I used to have. And then there's some storage area that was burned up. There's the playroom where the roof collapsed in the playroom. There's the bathroom where I was in that tub when the earthquake struck. Was a clawfoot tub. Well, there always was some heat in that bedroom, eh, 3-Dot? One good thing about the whole thing is I got to go back up to Chickasha and go to J&W Grill. If you've never been to J&W Grill in Chickasha, you're missing out. That is the home of the original fried onion burger. We have an outbuilding that has a padlock on it, and I couldn't find the key to the padlock, so I asked my mom to bring me a key to the outbuilding, and there's the key she brought me. Burnt floor. This Windex bottle was on the fireplace mantle. stuff left over, burnt stuff, burnt stuff, burnt stuff, burnt stuff, burnt stuff, laundry room. I mean, it's a mess. It's all gone. I want to show you my office. It won't mean anything to you because you don't have any point of reference, but I had an office. There's our dining room. And then, oh, there's the kitchen. That's the oven laying there in front of the refrigerator. The beer in the refrigerator exploded in the fire. That was fun. There's the refrigerator with the door open. And then this is a couch. This is all that's left of a love seat couch that was in my office. You can just see the cushions under the charred boards. And then there was a bookshelf with all kinds of books and software. Anyway, it's all gone now. So to reiterate, there was a house fire. Pamela did a paint along. Did you email it to me? Yeah, email it to me. blade@artisticbiker.com. Boudreaux came in late. Boudreaux, did you get a chance to see the finished product? This is what we did tonight. We did a tribute to the house fire. So there's my matchstick. No show. What do you mean no show, Boudreaux? Okay, I think Pamela's going to email it to me. Let's see. blade@artisticbiker.com. I can't be messing with that right now. I need to see Pamela's picture. I know this is... Uh-oh. This is super exciting. Super exciting. So now we're just waiting for... So Boudreaux, this is what we painted on the show tonight. And there's a lot of layers in there. We did it in glazes so that the light from the candle or light from the fire shows up into the black, into the darkness. And the trick to that is to do it in thin layers. So whatever color you're doing in the fire, do it all the way out to the edge in a thin layer, and then come back from the outside in with your black or I'm drawing a blank. Indigo. And I went ahead and primered both sides of the paper so that the paper would be more stable. And you can see it's still a lot for the paper. It's still wrinkled, the paper, and this is supposed to be acrylic paper. So I probably could have put 2 more layers of primer on here before I started, but like I said, it'll work for our purposes. So we're just waiting now to see Boudreaux's, Pamela's painting, because she did a paint along, which I think is awesome. I don't have it yet. I have lots of advertising. So exciting. So exciting. So we kind of used this one as a model. This was a candle I painted a couple of years ago. This belongs to my friend Jack. I think he's in the chat room. He was in the chat room. Yeah, he's in the chat room. It's Last of the Breed. I just never got around to sending it to him. And when he came down to get it the last time, he didn't take it. So I just figured he didn't really want it. That's me picking fights. We're just waiting now for the email to happen. Oh yeah, Linda Ray, we're gonna put it on YouTube. I'm gonna upload it to YouTube just as it is. So I'll show you while we're waiting for the email to happen. This was what my son painted. That's his house fire. And then Unique with Chantiel La Fontaine over there painted leaves.
I got some pizza when I'm hungry.
Oh, you got some pizza because you're hungry. Does Nana know you got pizza?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Here's Pamela French. Here's our paint. I gotta avert your eyes. It might be pouring. Woo! Look at there. Oh, wrong camera. Pamela French did a paint along. Woo! I love that. Absolutely love that. So, my mom is in the chat room saying, talking about claiming that candle. She says, "That's right. I have the perfect wall for it." I don't think Jack's cut on yet. Jack has me on. If Jack is still here, he's got me on his noise in the background. So he's probably got his hands full of something. Can't respond at all. And in the meantime, my mom is stealing his painting. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me. You know this is my favorite night of the week when I get to art with my besties. Next week, we're going to put together a small journal using some file folders and a stapler, just to get us something to paint on through the summer months. It's more of a travel journal than anything. I like them because they're small. You can just throw them in a bag and take them with some little acrylic tubes, and you're good to go wherever you want to go. So we'll do that. We'll make that next week, and that'll give us something to play with through June, July, and August. And then I think my mom sent. Oh, Jackson in the chat room says he's already driving this way to come get it. No, he just says he's driving. Sorry. Anyway, so I think my mom sent a private message to Pamela French, so Pamela French has my address to send me paper sacks, and then we'll get the paper sacks, and then September we'll make a new book. By the first day of fall we'll make a new full book, and then we'll have a book ready to go for the Halloweeny season. So yeah, 3 Dot wants another sewing episode. That's in September. We make the full book with the sewing in September. We make the small book with the no injuries in the beginning of summer. Because if I'm going to be injured, it's not going to be during the summer when I can go swimming and stuff. It's going to be over the winter when I have to stay indoors because of the solid water. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. You know, I look forward to this every week when I can art with my besties. Be sure and tune in next week. Same Artistic Biker time, same Artistic Biker channel. And then we dance. And we dance until somebody in the chat room is cool enough to let me know that they see me dancing, so that the lag catches up and I know that I won't I know that I think I'm dying. Seriously, I walked 6 miles the other day trying to lose weight, and it has taken me 3 days to recover. The first day I had shin splints and muscle aches. The second day I could barely move my legs. Today I think I could probably walk another couple miles, so I may go to the treadmill after this. But okay, I'm done. So we'll see you guys next week. Mwah! Peace out, yo.